So what's this? Episode 5, 6?
Six.
Are we uploading the
Episode
last one?
6.
Because the last one
We
was the last one's straight trash. Sorry to anyone that's listening to that.
If you stick, look, there's a few good parts about 5 minutes in and 25 minutes in. So if you stick with it, you'll fucking hear something that might be funny.
Unless you're related to us or a close loved one, maybe don't listen to those bits. Don't listen to any of it. Skip episode 5 unless you're around our age.
What was that really good one? 3 or 4?
4. 4
Yeah,
shit
number 4.
superpowers.
4,
And,
yeah,
we
shit
were a
superpowers.
big fan of shit superpowers. I hope other people were. We're going to try something a bit different today, guys. We're going to not talk about... So usually before we run these podcasts, we'll have a quick chat to each other about, what are some topics so everyone can brainstorm and come up with a few ideas. Today we're going to try and have it a lot more off the cuff. So we've just got points of topics of conversation, but not, nothing profound, nothing real deep, nothing radical. So
Just winging it.
just winging it, just making it a more natural conversation, because we have heaps of good ones that aren't recorded, so that's really what we're trying to capture. Harper, Joel, either of you guys got something to kick us off with?
Yeah, well, just going back off what Aiden said, we nearly lost sight of why we started this podcast. We started it because we thought some of the conversations that come out of our mouths are gold, to us anyway, and we're trying to do it real professional, add a bit of professionalism to it, and
Yeah, I think the fact is, our main thought behind it was, hey, actually, some of the conversations we have, like when we're just hanging out with the fellas, they're pretty funny. Like, what if we recorded those? So I think we need to, or at least it's good that we're trying to get back to that now, I suppose.
There was an element of that. There was an element of us wanting to learn things, but really, I know it's only we're only just over a month in, so let's not make it seem like we've lost sight of why we started. But I think Joel's right. I think we sort of did, in a sense. We forgot that we're just here to learn, have some fun. It's really for us, and hopefully other people enjoy it too. That's what we really want. We don't want anything more than that. Can't ask for anything more than that.
yeah.
Joel, kick us off. You got something for us?
So I'm just going to say, I was listening to Triple J this week, and I think it was on Monday. Well, it would have had to be because it's only Tuesday. And they were saying, should your partner be your best friend? And there was a lot of... Well, Ben and Liam were talking, and I believe it was Liam saying... No, it was Ben saying, when his missus asked him, he says, yeah, you're my best friend. But, on radio, he's saying, no, Ben's my best friend. I say it because I know that's what she wants to hear. Which is funny, I thought, but...
Okay, so just quickly, based on our Instagram, we have a large quite a large Indian following. So just for you guys, Triple J is an Australian radio station, and Ben and Liam are hosts on that radio show.
Yeah.
Just so everybody knows.
Sitting there listening to this, fuck, they have some weird names. My views on it personally.
What do you guys think? Yeah.
I don't think they should be. I think you have to be dating someone who you can do everything you do with your best friend, but yuck, and just pull the hair out of his mouth.
I'm fairly certain it was one of mine.
Yeah, I know it was yours.
was fucking
Yeah.
Your colour hair, your length hair.
Of all the people you interact with, that has to have been mine.
It's like
Tastes like Head and Shoulders.
slight tint of depression.
Delicious.
So Joel, sorry,
Yeah, so
you think they shouldn't
they
be?
they should be separate. Everybody needs a break from someone. Obviously, you're going to want to date someone who you'd consider your best friend, but you're going to want a best friend outside of that relationship. They don't come hand in hand, and I think you need both to be happy in life and keep a relationship healthy as well as friendships healthy. And it's saying that if you and your partner are really close and you consider each other best friends, it's saying that you have the mindset that she is your best friend and not your old best mate. I don't think it's healthy for the relationship between you and your mate or your missus, because things start to get really one-sided. It's nearly to a stage where it's passive manipulative.
Yeah, I get what you're saying there. I think it's hard for us to comment really based on the fact that none of us are married. I feel like the most successful relationships, you'd probably be asking that question to. But Josh, thoughts?
Well, see, this is a bit of a weird one, because I've definitely seen a few people who have a relationship, and it does seem as though they would consider each other like their best friend. And in my eyes, they seem perfectly happy. Like it seems like a really awesome relationship. There's no, I don't know, there doesn't seem to be the niggly little arguments that seem to deteriorate a lot of other relationships. And there's no I'm not going to say a hierarchy or anything like that, but there's no, I don't know, there just doesn't seem to be the typical relationship competition that
it's more like a
quite often
mutual compatibility.
Yeah, they're both really happy to be around each other, and they're both enjoying the interaction fairly well equally. Whereas I see in a lot of relationships, it does get to the point where it's particularly one-sided in one situation or another. And yeah, I mean, I've never, you never really see those best friends having those bad times. Granted, obviously from the outside, I'm not going to see, the intimate levels of each relationship.
Outside the window, you will. Okay.
But no, I don't know. I think the person you have a relationship with, you should easily be able to consider a best friend were you not in that relationship. But given the fact that you are, I think you also need to have, or it's good to have, someone else that you can consider a best friend.
I'm going to dissect this a little bit. So, how I sort of view it is, you should, and everyone's going to agree with this, you should get along with the person you're with, and you guys should have a lot of fun together and whatever. But I think there's a stigma around labelling someone a best friend. I hope that the way I've spoken that has helped give the perception of my air quotes. I'm doing air quotes, best friend, because so growing up, there's a stigma around best friends, right? And stigma is maybe the wrong word, but there's an aura around the sort of buzz phrase best friend. And when you think of best friend, you think of, oh, I do this with them and that with them. And very rarely growing up, that at least that I saw, were best friends of different genders. Did you guys get that? Don't get me wrong, obviously we have relationships that are the same gender or whatever,
Yeah.
but talking just for the majority of the population, it's hard to do. For me growing up, your best friend, you sort of always playing sport with, or you might be into the same sort of things. You and your partner don't have to be into the exact same things. Usually, and you don't have to with a best friend, but usually with a best friend, you've got a number of similarities. I don't know. I think you should be able to consider your partner a very good friend, and maybe they are your best friend, but I think it's too hard to try and label them a best friend. You need to have your relationship, and as Joel said, you need to have your relationship, and then you have to have something outside of that. Do you feel like with your best friend, or let's say best friends, I don't know, your group of mates or whatever it might be, do you feel like you could spend almost an endless amount of time with them and not have them get on your nerve, or do you need a break?
I like to think about it. Think you've got a torch. It's got batteries in it. There are 3 ways to recharge this battery, and 3 ways to deplete the energy in the battery, which are all the same. It's spending time with your missus, your mates, and alone time. And if you shine the torch on your mates for ever so long, you need to recharge it with your missus, and then likewise with the boys. And it needs to be, I believe, 33%. Put your energy into each. We went on a snow trip last year, was it?
Yeah, last year.
And not particularly anyone got on my nerves, but all I could think about was, fuck, I wish I could just lay in bed and just not hear another voice. I needed some alone time. That's all I wanted.
Yeah, and
I
we
agree with
definitely, by the end of it, we were getting on each other's nerves, confined in a small space, constantly doing the exact same thing in each other's company the whole time.
An exhausting activity as well didn't help.
Yeah, physically, demanding environment as well, constantly cold, But having said that, it's not as though we had a bad time, but it's just one of those things, you need time to yourself sometimes.
Yeah, and I might be sitting at home watching YouTube for afternoons and weekends on end, and then someone will invite me to do something, have a beer, schnitty night at Rose Cottage, at Roco.
Gotta
And then-
love the roco.
And then, yeah, I'll do that. Not particularly enthused by the idea, but once I get there, I've had an amazing time. And when I go home, I feel 10 times better than I did. Not feeling awful, but not knowing that that's what I needed.
Yeah, it's quite often that quite often you'll just find yourself in a rut of doing something simple and easy. And especially, wintertime, you're working, things are busy. You will find yourself coming home and just doing the exact same thing. You come home from work, it's dark, you eat dinner, you sit on your phone, you watch a movie or whatever, and you just go to bed because that's, that's sort of all you have the energy for. But then I think you almost get a different sort of energy when you do something with friends or if you have one of missus or something like that or a partner. Because it's like what you said. Eventually, eventually just doing things by yourself, that'll drain the batteries of the torch. You have to shine it somewhere else at some point.
Yeah, I've got to agree with Joel. And correct me if I'm wrong, but this is how I sort of view it. Well, actually, no, you've said it. 33% for each. You've got your own time, which is important. You've got your best friends, and that's important. But as I was saying before, that label, your partner might be equal to. Don't view a best friend as the highest of the high, or family is the highest of the high, or a partner. Well, maybe family or whatever, but you have your best friend and you have your partner, and your partner might be equal to and or above or below that, depending on how you feel about the situation. But they're a separate, but to me equal sort of thing.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
And some people are really family orientated or really love their mates. Their parents might have moved out and they've got a place to themselves, and mates pretty much are now their family.
Yeah.
And some people might be heavily into relationships and feel really strongly towards someone, and it's normal to put other people above other people.
Yeah, and it's important that people don't take that personally.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't mean you like them any less. It just means you like the other person a bit more, and that's perfectly acceptable.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about degrees of separation? So it's sort of between different things that you do. So obviously, we're some young fellas. Typically, I will keep our group of friends fairly separate to my family. And then again, I really like the idea of having, a girlfriend or a partner who is involved in the group as much as, as much as sort of we are. I really like the Tomorrow When the War Begins sort of vibe where everyone just sort of meshes together to make a nice group.
Yeah, it's good, eh?
But then, you see it a lot in today's, modern world where a partner or someone is considered really external to someone's group of friends.
Sorry, I'm just going to interrupt Josh for a second. So, for our Indian viewers, Tomorrow When the War Begins an Australian film. Sorry, carry on.
I think that's the only movie I've seen Josh Peck in. Movie.
Who's Josh Peck?
The Drake and Josh dude, the real fat one.
Yeah, see, I didn't really ever watch Drake and Josh.
I think that's the intro music. I don't know.
Okay, so yeah, that whole mesh. But then, as you're saying, some people prioritize or have to have it very separate.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you notice a lot of the time that someone will exclusively, they'll say, no, I can't come out or something like that because I'm hanging out with my missus, whereas other people would say, oh yeah, cool, is it cool if we bring our girlfriends along?
It'd be cool to be in a situation where your mates invite you somewhere and you're with your missus and you just come, you don't need to ask because everybody...
Yeah, they're
they're a part of the
considered
group.
a friend as much as anyone else is.
That'd be interesting. Imagine rocking up and going, don't remember inviting her.
I don't think that would happen. Looking at our group, right? Let's say we were doing a thing and Pat said he was coming. Pat was on our Instagram photo in the background.
Number one fan so far.
Number one fan.
Yep. Just because he said it.
Yeah.
He did.
So Pat, and
no
then
one else
if
has.
he was to bring his girlfriend along, I don't see anyone in our group going, who invited her?
Nah, God no.
It just wouldn't
Yeah,
happen.
no, definitely not.
But I see it as a thing where you ask, sort of, not out of courtesy as such, but like, it's, again, that sort of needing your time separate. So Josh and Joel are playing fucking footsies under the table for, I reckon, the last
Look at this.
10 minutes.
Look at this.
We've
I can
interlocked
only-
our big toe and other toes.
God, your big toe
I
looks
can only
kinda
describe
nice.
this as, think about your big
massive.
toe and then the next toe, I guess your index
Are there
toe.
2 toes there or just 1 big toe?
My
And then
big toe currently
Joel
sort of
and-
looks like Elmo.
Fucking massive.
Just nice
Yeah,
and
the
pink.
whole of Elmo.
So Joel and Josh, picture your big toe and then
pink
your, I guess your
fit-out
next
socks.
toe or your index toe, and they're
Index
doing scissors with it, like with each other's. Okay, so
But now it's going to feel really weird with my socks, and I'm going to have to adjust
Ninja
it.
Turtle. Quick fact about me. I've got,
Oh, that's weird.
they're not short, but I've got average size fingers and, do I have short toes? But really square palms. I have extremely square palms. These are made for ping pong. I don't know. They're fucking squares. Look at that.
yeah, right. That's weird.
They are
The more
reasonably...
you focus on it, the fucking more Minecraft they get. I love that. Oof. That was good.
Kind of lost what I was saying now, guys. That was funny. So for our listeners, if you haven't had any friends, so Minecraft's like this game where
Dies. We actually all met on it.
Yeah.
It's a Minecraft dating app.
Tincraft. It's a
Um,
mixture between Tinder and Minecraft.
Yeah.
So it was
I
shit,
like
Jay.
it.
It was off the cuff.
yeah. Yeah, I can't see our friendship group doing that.
Yeah, because I was just saying, you asked because, like Joel said before, you need that separate thing, and sometimes you might just want to spend some time with your friends,
Yeah.
not because your missus is a burden or your partner's a burden, but or anything of that kind. It's just the way it is. You need that, as Josh was sort of bringing this topic on, that degree of separation. Do you feel like you separate, like you mentioned this before, how much do you feel you separate your friends from your family? Obviously, Joel a lot less because he has a twin brother, but who's within our friendship
I
group.
thought that was a joke because I don't have a missus, but...
No, friends from your family.
Ah,
Like, it's more just, do you feel like it's because of, almost out of embarrassment? Like, fuck, like,
Mum,
yes, I'm
stop.
sorry. No, the other way around. Mum,
Oh,
I'm sorry,
yeah.
this is how I fucking behave. Like,
I think it probably... there's probably that to a definite degree. You know, you muck around and you do probably some stupid things and...
which wouldn't be anything that they didn't do, but they just expect that you don't because their child is different for some fucking reason than every other child.
do you think it plays a big part in... You know how you're in primary school and you want to have a sleepover with a friend and you always want to go to their house? Like, everybody had that mate. For us, it was Sam in high school because he
Yeah.
had a cool house and he had all those video games, so we always wanted to go there because we always had fun. And we could make nearly as much noise as we wanted because the bedrooms weren't close to where we were playing the games. And personally, I didn't like sleepovers at my house because mum and dad had work and they didn't want to be kept up by us like making noise, so it was never that fun.
Yeah, I felt somewhat similar. Not quite that, but I also felt, there was things around the house that I didn't want, getting messed up or anything like that. You know, Dad had a project here and there, or Mum had some craft, or, there's just knickknacks around, and being teenage boys, I was always sort of like, oh, is stuff going to get broken? What's going to happen?
Do you feel like on the noise or breaking thing, you care a bit less now? Because, like, if you rock up at home at like 3 a.m. hammered, it's like, whatever.
Can't fucking buy a new one.
Yeah, actually, that's the thing. Disposable income has changed this.
Without
I reckon that's where it stems from, though. Like, just where we sort of exclude our friends from our family. Like, there are people I know, like this girl I know, Chloe, she's like best mates with her best friend's family. Like, they go on holidays all the time together. I could never picture that. Fucking awkward city. I'm an awkward dude. Like, fuck that. You should have seen me when I walked in. It was bad.
Yeah, it's
I personally love watching the awkward interactions between my friends and my family. I'll almost sometimes like go down to the kitchen and just wait for my friends to come over. I'll specifically not tell my friends that Mum's like sitting on the couch, and I won't tell Mum that my friends are coming and I'll just watch the interaction as, you know, my friends awkwardly walk through the door and like, oh, hey. And
I feel like
I think it's great. It's great
exactly
fun.
how we speak.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's good, and I feel more comfortable now because I know that, like, if it's your house, you feel comfortable, and you know your parents are probably going to be cool with it. Like, your mates coming in, so it's like, whatever. But for your mates, I feel intrusive. I'm opening the door without, like, I'll do like one quiet courtesy knock, and then I'll just try and sneak in, like, and then it's like like you feel awkward because you're just busting into someone else's house.
Yeah, I've always felt that when going elsewhere, but yeah.
Okay, so guys, best friends, misses need to be or partners, we believe, can be separate. It would be cool if they're all mixed in with your friendship group. It can also, I believe that'll make stuff awkward though. If let's say you separate with your partner,
I've heard.
Yeah, like you know that could be a thing. But well, like whatever.
That's a future you problem. Don't worry about it now.
Yeah. You just do what's fun at the moment, and you let future you figure that out. Joel, can I get?
I like to think that, you know, like present me gives future Josh. Yeah, present Josh gives future Josh a lot of like hassles and trouble to think about. But I like to think that future Josh is, you know, a strong enough, independent enough guy to be able to take on these challenges.
See, I look at it like a never-ending debt that you don't have to pay off because you get to die in the end. Like, it's like rocking up. It's like stacking up like millions of dollars worth of debt and then dying so you don't have to deal with it. Like basically, you just leave problems till future you until you die, and then you don't have to deal with any of those problems because you like postponed these problems until death. People still please hire me. I'm not a procrastinator. I will absolutely do. I will do tasks when they're brought to me in front of me.
It's like your superpower that you brought up. What was it? Something about something, and then a random nipple comes out on your body.
You can read people's minds, but
for every mind you read, you grow another nipple.
And
speaking of superpowers, because this was actually a topic I had written down. It's not shit superpowers, and this is just a light one. If you had you get to pick, and like this is a pretty obvious question, but you get one superpower, you get to choose it, and it's like a serious superpower, not out of our shit superpowers, which is also a good question. But I want to do that for any sort of videos we have coming up.
I have to do. Look, it's nearly cheating, reality warping, but if we're going on like a smaller scale, probably matter manipulation. So I think that'd be fun.
You know, I've always thought about this, but then I've always thought my interpretation of that sort of situation would be really badly warped. Because you know how in like all the movies and whatnot or something like that, someone rubs a lamp and a genie comes out or whatever, and they get their 3 wishes, but something bad, you know, happens as well. Like someone will wish for, I don't know,
accidentally say, "Oh God, I wish you were alive anymore," and they're dead.
Yeah, something like that. I feel like if I was ever put in the situation where I was, you know, said I could wish for things, I would have to be really specific about it. Like, I'd be like, I wish for $1 million. But I don't want anybody to die. I don't all of a sudden want to not want things. I don't want it to be in check. I don't want to,
Make sure there's no caveats around you getting your $1 million. Like,
finishes your wish before you finish your sentence. Can I get $1 million and just potatoes fall from the sky?
You have to get it in writing and then draft it by a lawyer and then show them, and they'll be like, "No, there's no loopholes in this. I think you're right." And then you like take it all the way to the top and go, "Hey, if you review this bit of paperwork, I'll pay you $1 million." And like, let's say you're wishing for like $1 billion, and they're like, "Really? Show us you have the capital." I will. Trust me. This bit of paperwork, because if you fuck up, you're not getting paid. Like,
what's your superpower that you'd have?
I think a flash like level of super speed would be cool.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of
like cool. Anywhere instantly and can kind of go back in time as long as you don't fuck with shit. Just look at shit. That's kind of cool. Magneto's powers would be equally cool.
They're pretty cool.
Yeah,
I agree.
But that'd probably be me. I don't know.
I almost think I'd take something that's cool and good, but not so powerful that I would feel a responsibility to go, you know, like stop wars or
So
that
you
sort
have
of
a
thing.
superpower for purely selfish reasons, just to do fun shit for yourself.
Well, not even that, but like, because I wouldn't feel like I would always make the right decision. Do I support America in the, like,
Yeah.
It comes down to like the political issues. So
start your
I
own
feel like
nation.
I feel like I'd want to have a power that affects me and the people around me, but not so much that I now determine the fate of like everyone in the world.
Like, majority of the mutants out of Marvel, like some of them have subpar.
Yeah,
Yes.
like they can do some pretty cool stuff that might help them and their family and friends and whatnot. And if they want to go join an army or whatever, yeah, sure, whatever. But it's not like they're gonna decide who runs the world in 30 years.
There's who's got the real shit superpower in X-Men? Like, you touch someone and they die.
Rogue.
Rogue. How did that not come up? She has the shittest superpower.
Well,
It's less of a superpower and not even an ability, it's just a bit of bad luck.
I think in the comics, she touches people, she gets their powers.
Yeah.
They don't actually die, but they might. But
So if she touches like non-mutants, then they just die. Whereas if she touches mutants, she
Yeah.
takes their powers.
yeah, and I think it could have been the fact that in the film when she touched a number of people. It's weird. It's all over the shop. There is actually a mutant, and he was obsessed with superheroes, and he gets the scan done with his parents. And he's like, "Yep, your kid's a mutant." He's trying to find out what his superpower is, and they're doing all these tests on him. The doctor comes in. This is in a real comic book, and they come in. It's like, you can blow up like you're a bomb, and he's like, "Yes," and the doctor's like, "Wait." But
It's like a beast.
you can only do it once. You can literally, once you blow up, that's it.
And let me guess, he did it to save some dire situation, probably, I'd assume. But
Absolutely.
so he's got himself a bee sting.
Yeah.
He's a beast. He should be called the Bee. How come? It's just a one-hit wonder. Fuck. I reckon that probably does us for that little topic. That was just a short, fun, light thing. Just keep it light.
If you
and breeze.
had one shot,
Oh, God.
one opportunity,
to seize everything you ever wanted.
would you capture it?
No, one moment.
Oh, sorry, one moment.
Would you capture it?
Or just let it slip.
His palms are sweaty,
Knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on his sweater already. Mom's spaghetti. He's nervous, but on the surface he looks calm and ready to drop bombs. But he keeps on forgetting what he wrote down. The whole crowd goes so loud. He opens his mouth, but the words won't come out. He's choking out. Yeah,
I don't know the words.
Everybody's choking now.
The clock's run out. Time's up. Over. Wow. Snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Oh, there goes gravity. Oh, he's so mad, but he won't give up. That is, he won't have it.
Yeah.
And then he goes back to like
Rapping
motor-
stuff.
And then he goes back to his motorhome. That's
Yeah.
when back to the lab again, yo. It's all Rhapsody. Better go
Good stuff.
capture this moment
This
and hope
one.
it don't. Sorry. Okay. We're gonna.
People
We
sh-
are Eminem.
People
I want
should-
us to cut that bit, but I know Joel won't
Oh,
because
wow, I liked it.
he's in charge of fucking editing. Okay, so guys, skip to the 30. Fuck, actually,
That won't
it's gonna
work.
be it's gonna be useless now. Fuck.
I'll cut it, you bitch. I'm not scared.
Joel has the power.
I'm God.
I got the power. That's actually
So
the
that's
only
the
lyric to
next
that
one.
song.
Tequila. Alright, so I've got one that's kind of, it could be interactive in the sense that it's a thinker.
I'd love someone to comment on something of ours. That'd be
Fucking hell.
fantastic.
Stop being a pussy. Stop thinking of, people I know might follow their Instagram. I don't want to look like a fag.
We're desperate. Please comment on stuff that we have.
So
Yeah.
hopefully someone actually comments on something we have.
And
'Cause-
Thomas, I know you'll do it, but
Well, we
somebody who's
appreciate
not
you,
heavily
Thomas.
involved in us.
But like, we'd like someone else that we don't know super well.
I live with you. I don't really need you talking to me on a post that I'll see in a few days.
Don't text me. I fucking sleep right nearby.
All right. So my question is, I thought of this before I came. Why do some girls just love popping pimples, and other people's, not just their own? Everybody knows one of them, at least one. There's always at least one. And why have I never met a guy who likes doing this?
Okay. Well, first of all, you're sitting next to a guy that likes doing this, and also
The truth comes out.
so my girlfriend really like just popping pimples, but I also enjoy popping pimples. I don't know.
You guys fight over it, getting heated arguments. It's on my fucking body. I'm gonna pop it.
Yeah,
But it looks good.
no, like
It actually sounded really like it. That's good.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it did.
Sorry, Lauren.
I didn't think it did, Lauren. Yeah, we're cool.
He
Please
did. He's
don't
getting
get,
a chub.
please don't get me in trouble. All right, so no, I think
If anything, I'd get in trouble for that comment. She knows me well enough.
it's just a like satisfying activity. Like you just sit in it.
I think it's rank.
facial.
You know where the worst pimples are? In between your leg, the inner thigh.
Not
ever
if you
get
wear
that.
Step 1 underwear. No, I've just seen the ads and they're meant to be really good. Made out of bamboo and they put a strip of lycra in the middle.
No friction. Lycra
Yeah.
stops friction.
Yeah.
They've got a separate pouch for your joey, so no balls getting stuck to your thigh.
You're in a
Ooh.
thigh. It's a glide like a figure skater. That's one of the ads.
Hey,
Your inner
this,
thighs rubbed together like sandpaper. Yeah, mate. You know who you fucking are.
hey, this podcast is brought to you by Step 1 underwear. I wish.
I've been meaning to buy a pair.
Same, actually.
Yeah, I reckon that'd be alright.
I just need new undies altogether.
Fuck, you're gross.
I can't believe you said that.
No, like it's just a
I
good
can't
thing
believe
to have.
you've done this.
So what do you guys think? Like, what... Everybody...
What was the question again?
I can't believe you
I-
like popping pimples. Like, you get... Have you ever been sitting here talking to us and seen a pimple on either our faces or body?
Not on other people. I just like popping my own pimples. That's satisfying. And if it's... And, like, let's say Lauren has a pimple.
Will
I'll
you pop
that.
it?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, if it's like on her shoulder or something. Some
Face?
weird
What about
spot.
face? Are face
Nah.
pimples weirder?
I don't like doing other... I don't think other people's pimples, unless it's in, like, a completely non-weird body part, like a shoulder.
So if we were going swimming, it's summertime, it's hot, I've been sweating because I've been at work, and I've developed a pimple on my back that I didn't know about, would you say, hey, you've got a big pimple on your back,
Here's the thing.
let me at it?
No, so I wouldn't like volunteer myself to do it. But if you no, so I wouldn't ask if I could do it, because I don't see a pimple and go, oh fuck yeah, pimple, like that's fucking weird.
Ooh, yeah.
It's only like if
Juicy.
yeah, it's only like if we were going swimming and you were like, you felt this pimple on your back and you're like, guys, I know this is a real fucking weird ask, but could someone pop this? I'll be like, yeah, I gotcha. That's more it. Like I enjoy popping my own ones if like I see like a cool bit of pus come out. I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah. And then I look at them and I'm like, they're white blood cells, eh? Who knew?
comes out of your skin like popping shuckers. Yeah.
Oh, it's Mr. Cool.
You're like,
Like with like a little thug life face on, the glasses and the
Tupac comes out.
no, but no, it's not like I see one. I'm like, oh fuck yeah! Like it's not like that. It's just
Yeah. You know how when you're feeling sick and you can sort of feel it in the back of your throat? That's what I'm getting right now. Not because of you, but because of just imagining
It's-
popping other people's pimples. I don't think I could do it.
nah. So it doesn't disgust me because I like it's gross around it, and then I just think it's just like it's just white blood cells. Like they fight the bad guys. If anything, it's clean.
It's nothing you can't wash off, but I mean, I'm not going to go around like I'm not going to say I enjoy it, but I'm happy to do it if someone needs it done.
Yeah,
It's a sexual kink of yours, isn't it?
you sick fuck.
You don't see the
Hang on.
look in his eyes.
I'm not the one enjoying it.
I also said I'm not going to actively seek it out.
Enjoying
Yeah, that
is an
doesn't mean you're not
understatement.
enjoying it.
All right. I've got other topics. Joel, I'm pretty sure you did.
Yeah, I don't.
Josh, do you?
No, I'm enjoying this. This is good. Just winging it.
Cool.
Set up one of yours.
I've got another light one. I just wrote down a few light ones. Just
Yeah,
as
I've got
little
light
sort
ones
of
as well.
breakers. If you're able to implement one new law worldwide, and you can only do one, what would it be? Worldwide law, new one. This is a bit of a thinker, so take your time.
So, like, what are we saying here? Worldwide law, and it's now obviously it's now enforced. Are we assuming it works just like any other law in that people can choose to follow it, or
So
Like,
let's say it's like the way I picture it, right, is you're driving behind someone. It's an 80, they're dawdle dicking it at 60. As long as either you can prove that they're just being a pain in the ass, or you're willing to just pay for the damages and not do any like sort of time or ruin your license, you can just ram the fuckers out of the way. Like that's what I'm talking. Like one new law that's just acceptable for everyone. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, this is a hard one. If there was anything that I think would help it'd help the girls around their teens and early 20s, and it'd be you can't name your children, boys in particular, with a name starting with J anymore. Not one person who listens to that will not get that. That like everybody should understand that. If you're not, you're too old. Sorry, family. Sorry, Glennis.
But for our Indian audience, so just to explain,
A J is the one. It's not a Rajesh. Well, actually, yeah.
No, the third letter in Rajesh. They actually speak English.
Barely.
You want we have a DM that, what is it? You want promotion, sir? Question mark. Actually, I'm going to respond to this gentleman right now and just see what happens. I'm going to say.
Do you reckon he'll reply?
We'll find out. I'm sure they will.
What's his name?
Okay, so they've said, "Oh no, we must have declined the message request or something."
Fuck.
Because they're like, "You want promotion, sir?" And I was going to say, "Yes, big promotion, please, sir."
Yeah, I don't know what my law would be though. I don't know.
It's real hard to call, 100%. Just
it might be
185 followers.
Everybody gets a free something each year. I don't know what that'd be.
You wouldn't make it like you can once every 6 months. Every person is allowed to slap one other person in their workplace.
What's that movie called?
The Purge?
Yeah, the slap purge.
Yeah, and every slap, they all have to be on the same day. April 18th, everybody has to slap.
At precisely 8 a.m.
Yep.
It'll be like the ASTs, or like a series of tests, exams. Everybody times it. It's like adjudicated. Everyone's like, all right, we're all ready. We're all in the right room. Everybody knows who they're slapping and who's getting slapped. Cool, let's do it.
And you're not allowed to skip that day. You must be present at work. If you're not there, you have to have a medical certificate, and it can't be because you were feeling anxious about coming to work that day. It has to be a physical illness. It can't be for any sort of... it's a bit harsh to say for nothing mental, but...
I was about to say, we're getting...
It's a bit harsh.
Losing demographic.
Okay, if things are really rough, then yeah, sure.
Jokes.
But if you're just worried about this slap, you're just going to have to cop it, alright?
If you're a half decent person, no one would want to slap you, so there's that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So just be nice. I reckon it would encourage everybody to be just a bit nicer in the workplace.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it? Like,
fuck, this cunt's got big hands. We might get on his bad side.
So what I'm saying, guys, is I'm not encouraging slapping in the workplace. I'm trying to just tell everyone to be nicer, because if things were fair, if you're rude to someone else, you would get slapped. Do you get what I mean? It's more a deterrent. I'm really just trying to get people to be nice, as opposed to have violence as a promotion. But I don't know, that's not my one law. I just thought that would...
I think a good law to sort of institute would be something to improve the world. So, like, what if just everybody in the world had to do a mandated, I don't know, let's call it a mandated 3 days, maybe a week of community work, and not necessarily... I don't know, like you could apply for different things. So, whether it be you just work in a different institution for a week, and so you pick up a few extra skills and whatnot, or maybe it be you volunteer somewhere for a week, and because it's like government and stuff mandated, companies aren't missing out on money or anything, or profit margins or anything like that, because everyone's sort of reimbursed and accepts that this day or this week is, for that specific.
I'd like that idea for school.
Yeah.
For students to help out once in their fucking lives.
It'd be good if it was like fully funded too. Imagine that, where you're like, like you have, maybe you'd even go on a waiting list to do it. I want to go volunteer in a third world country and help build sustainable housing or something along those lines. And then the government's like, okay, it'll be rough flights, sure, but they will like pay for your flights, like to get over there, and you know what I mean. And then you're with that organisation while you're there, so they'd sort out all the rest. But you know what I mean.
Yeah, and if you've got that sort of thing mandated as law, or at least in a regulated way, there wouldn't be as much worry in terms of whether this activist group is actually helping a group of people or whatnot. It'll just be no, this is something that everybody considers doctrine. This is what happens.
Like every 6 months, everyone has to spend half a day picking up rubbish in a public place.
Yeah.
That was going to be my law, not that in particular, but something to help the environment. Like one weekend quarterly, you're not allowed to drive a car or like do anything that pollutes
Big old
the
Earth
atmosphere.
Hour.
Yeah.
Big old Earth Hour.
Yeah. Earth Weekend or
And,
something.
yeah, one that people actually, it's law.
Well, yeah, obviously for things like hospitals and emergency departments, you'd have to maintain some semblance. But you could shut off parts of power
Like
grids
funding
and that
Tesla
sort of thing.
vehicles.
I'd probably make it like every major global decision has to go through Elon Musk.
Nice.
Let's just let
Australia's law.
let's just let that guy handle things for us. He's actually the like if I'm ever worried about humanity, I go, nah, it's alright. Elon's got us. Like that's actually
He's doing stuff. He's
that's
got a
my
plan.
fallback. He's like, no. He bloke's landed rockets, going to Mars.
We'll wake up tomorrow.
Electric cars, we're sweet.
We'll wake up tomorrow. The news about Elon Musk dies, and we're like, fuck!
That was our lifeline.
Podcast over. Sorry, guys. We've got no faith in anything anymore.
Yeah.
Terror, panic, run. Save yourself.
We should start like an Elon Musk based religion.
I thought you were going to say like,
Where Elon is either maybe not God, but at least a prophet.
Yeah, I've got a couple books that we might be able to base this off.
Halo. No, I'm kidding. He does have Halo books, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we move on topic wise? I think this now's not a bad time to touch on. If you guys have listened to it this far, first of all, thank you very much. You are appreciated. Yes, that's right. I'm talking to you. You personally, you are appreciated. But this is probably, I feel like this is our first real podcast. Going back to almost like the practice ones, but not. Like we had maybe our expectations a little too high, or we're just getting better at talking into the mic because the pressure is on when there's a mic a little bit, and we're maybe feeling more comfortable around that. But this is a much more natural, free-flowing, raw sort of.
I think it's good. We're having a bit of a
conversation.
laugh just about whatever.
Yeah.
And here's another topic which won't take away from the laugh. It's completely personalised to me, but growing up, this is not just myself. This is my whole family, mostly Thomas and I. And so if we were ever hungry, you get your Kraft singles, the plastic cheese. I'm not a big fan of it unless it's melted. And you get some chicken, and you put it on a bread. You get some mayonnaise, put the Kraft single on top, and you have your sandwich hull sitting there, and you put it all in the microwave. And the basis of this story is I'm a huge fan of microwave bread. That has to be buttered so it does go soggy, though.
I don't know if I could disagree with another human more.
Yeah,
Like, don't get me wrong, the butter thing I agree with. Like melted butter for whatever reason, it's the exact same stuff, but it's just far superior.
yeah, and now think of
But
a
like
sponge for that.
soggy bread. When I was younger, actually, I really enjoyed it. I found in the last probably 3 years, microwave bread is just abysmal. Like it.
This is why no one opens up.
Why you'd want it? Oh,
Look, I didn't realise it was a big deal until when I started my apprenticeship. I went to work with this roast beef, cheese and barbecue sauce sandwich.
fuck you.
And I was like, fuck, this is a bit plain, so I put it in the microwave.
It's amazing how it can spruce things up at a microwave. Isn't
Oh,
it?
it was fucking delicious. And this tradesman's like, are you eating fucking microwave bread? I'm like, yeah. He's like, why? I was like, well, to get like the cheese melted. And he's like, it's fucking disgusting. Your bread's soggy. I was like,
Yeah.
oh fuck.
Do you reckon?
I
You know
mean,
how they reckon with pizza, if you put like a glass or half a glass of water in the microwave with the pizza, it stops the pizza from going
I've
soggy?
heard that.
I wonder, surely it's the same principle. I don't know if it works, but it would be the same principle.
I love an overnight soggy bit of pizza from the microwave. And the weirdest thing is
Yeah, that's actually
that's
really
different.
good.
That's okay. It's different.
bullshit.
is.
It is not. Look,
Josh.
No, it's exceptionally different.
Yeah, fucking microwave bread. That soggy shit that you put in. Like,
It's like a garlic bread. You know, you pull your garlic bread out of the oven. The outside's crispy, but it's almost a little bit soggy on the inside because
but
of
what's
all
the
the
best
butter
part of
and
a garlic
sauce.
bread? The fucking inside, the soggy bit.
would
Not
you-
because it's garlic.
Hold up. Would you have? Okay, but the same principle applies where. Okay, so I'll admit that the microwaved soft bit of the middle of the bread, that's good shit. The outside of it being soggy as well, and I don't even like crust.
And it's easy to eat because it's soggy.
Nah, you know what I don't get about crust? Okay, I don't really understand crust. Like, not the fact... Like, I understand it's cooked... Like, I understand how crust works, but it tastes so fucking different. Like, so different. Way more than just... Like, if you put bread in a toaster and you toast it, the middle doesn't taste like the fucking crust it would on raw bread.
Why can't they make
You know
an
what I mean?
outside crust for the whole loaf of bread so you have a loaf of bread that is no crust?
Yeah, I fucking hate crust. It's just shit. It's
I
the
think you just gotta-
basmati of
Harper's
bread.
sitting here with curly hair. He's like, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh no, I've made mistakes. my
And
whole
what
life.
about, what's to go with that myth? Parents telling you, oh, you got to eat your crust, your hair will go curly. One, I don't want curly hair, and second of all, what's the big deal with crust? Is it just a wastage thing? Because for whatever reason, in my head, it was meant to be healthier for you than the rest of the bread because it tastes like ass. No, it's fucking shit. Fuck you, bread crust.
It's funny.
Unless there's a light sprinkle of flour on top, then for whatever reason, bread crust is the business. Like, you get a light sprinkle of flour over any bread, like a damper, or you get like one of those fancy breads in the packet, and that's got a light sprinkling of flour over it.
How do you feel about like poppy seeds or?
No,
I love seeds.
So I get around seeds. Look, sesame seeds, take them or leave them. That's weird. Give them a Turkish background, and Turkish bread has sesame seeds all over it. Like, yeah, I'm cool. You know what's the shittest bread? Whole grain.
Wholemeal.
Whole grain.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, wholemeal, not
Yeah.
whole grain.
Whole
'Cause
grain is delicious. I love the
grains
little
and
seeds.
multi-grain breads, unreal. White bread, well-deserved treat. Wholemeal,
The crust
What?
is the best part of it because it's all shit.
Have you guys tried
At
like?
least you take a bite of the crust and you know what you're getting for the rest of the slice. Like, fucking ass.
Have you guys tried? It's like the Seven Seeds. No, that's a brand or whatever. But it's just like it's like multigrain and wholemeal sort of mixed together, and it's like it. I don't know. It almost comes out black. Not black, but it's like it's a dark color.
Real dark.
Yeah,
I reckon it's great. I love it. Tastes delicious.
maybe it's because it's exotic a little bit.
Yeah,
It's
maybe.
got that little bit of flair about it. You know what's weird? We're talking about bread. On the pilot episode, we talked about grass, and I'm just going to say, shit's all over talking about grass. Talking about bread, like,
Fuck grass.
maybe it's because we're actually heavily opinionated over something that, like, no one should reasonably have an opinion on.
We are so invested in bread.
I can't go past like a good fresh slice of bread. Like
Go home. Oh, shit,
I am
we're-
home.
Shit.
Shut up. No, like when I was younger and the family went on a trip.
You're sitting in the back of the car just eating a loaf.
Well, pretty well. Like we'd stop somewhere and we'd get like a hot chook and a couple loaves of bread and
that's
some hot chips and stuff.
different.
And
Put cheese on it, butter,
Well-
put it in the microwave.
instead of picking at the chicken and like chips and stuff because they were hot, we'd just like mung down and get halfway through a loaf of bread.
Throw the chicken away.
What, butter on it at least?
No, like just straight, just like oh yeah, give me a fresh slice. That'll do.
My
That's
mouth
good.
is dry thinking of it.
You
Like,
know what it is? They're inbred. Honestly.
No, we are into bread.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry.
but like, don't
Like
get
a
me wrong.
duck.
There are a few things I enjoy. Like, you go down your supermarket, like let's say Woolies or Coles, and they've got a bakery in there, so you're getting like a fresh loaf of bread, and it's like a thick, hot white bread, baked that morning. You get like some actual butter, none of this margarine shit that's bad for you, and then you have that. It's unparalleled. But you know what's shit? You get that nice freshly baked bread. You put that genuine butter on it, and you throw it in the microwave.
Yeah,
Well,
trash.
that's
Fuck
where
you.
I'm not like that because my family doesn't eat genuine butter and we are purely margarine.
See, we changed to butter recently. from margarine. I don't know. Parents read something where
That's
it's
why
like
you're
actually-
glowing.
And I'll tell you one thing. It's changed my life. Like I look forward to meals again. Like colors have never been so bright. Like if you're eating margarine, stop lying to yourself. Okay, it's yellow. Seeds aren't meant to be like that. Like mate, they're lying to you.
My margarine's white.
Do you have Nuttalex?
Yeah.
Is that? Yeah, that's different.
Okay. No,
Is that
that's
a supplement?
Okay, that is the
Sort of.
pinnacle of margarines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're gonna have a margarine, that or I can't believe it's not butter.
I don't
It's
even know what I have. I may have margarine. I may have butter.
What do you mean it's not?
Bread makes you fat.
I just can't believe it's not real butter.
I can't even.
Look, I'll be honest with you guys. I just want milk that tastes like real milk. And only 2% fat.
Look, if you wanted a background into what my living situation is like, I've grown up on Nuttalex and skim milk. Full cream milk is fucking delicious.
Oh,
I could
how
drink that
good!
by
So
the
again,
gallon.
we made the change from skim milk or light milk to full cream milk. I want to say 3 years ago, and again, that was bigger. That was a bigger change than changing to butter.
Oh, good.
100%. Like you know what? You know what the difference is? You pour full cream milk over Weet-Bix. Compare that to skim milk over Weet-Bix.
You might as well be putting water in it, honestly.
Yeah, if you're putting like, and then you look at the color. The color's really different on light milk compared to
Skim milk
full
is
milk, which is
white.
Yeah,
White.
it's clear.
yeah, it is a bit.
Skim milk.
Skim milk
Yeah,
is
sorry, I thought we
clear.
were talking
Full
about
cream
full
milk is like this thick. Well, and don't get me wrong, it's completely obvious as to why.
Yeah.
Like removing the
Comes out of
cream
the
and the
tip.
fat and stuff.
Oh,
but
yeah. I was kidding.
were you? Didn't seem like you were.
No, you know what it is? Yeah, I was. Look, this goes into what I was going to say next. I also love. Thomas and I are into this. Mum thinks it's disgusting, but what does she know? We get a glass of milk. Well, actually, we get a big cup, like a protein shake. Mum will buy these like 4-pack of decent sized muffins from Coles. Thomas and I will take the paper off, shove one muffin down in the bottom of this cup, like all the way to the bottom, jam packed in there, airtight, and then put another one in there. Get a spoon, take the handle, shove a few holes in the top, and just drown it in milk.
Wait, can I just say, because you have light milk in your house, imagine how much better that would taste.
I
than full
know,
cream
because
milk.
sometimes I have it, which is going on to the next thing I said. I also do this with cookies, and one day I did it, I was like, fuck, there's full cream in the fridge. Like, not your 3-litre bottle, but like the little Devondale ones. I poured it on, I was like, fuck me, she's thick. Like, it's not soaking into the cookie at all. I was having a few tastes, and I was like, this is fucking rubbish. I read the packets. It's cream. This is some watery cream.
Oh, how could you
that's
even make that
fucking
mistake?
hilarious.
Mum, this is fucking cream, not milk.
So you're just eating literally the fat out of milk with a cookie.
Look, it's
that would have been, you know what? It actually kind of sounds good. Like I'd get around
it
it.
wasn't great. I read full cream on it. I was like, done.
Look, I'd feel disgusting doing that muffin thing, but
Yeah,
Like,
I don't
I-
rate a soggy muffin.
nah.
What's
See,
with
this is
you
where
and
you-
soggy things?
I
Nah,
love
this is where
mush.
you're wrong, Josh. I'm gonna have to back Joel on this. The moister the muffin, the better. And if it is dripping, I can't see that being a bad thing.
Nah, I can't do
Like,
it.
I'd have a half-baked muffin. Fuck it. I like cake batter. What's the difference?
Well, no, see, that's different to like dripping wet. Like you could wring this thing out and just watch the milk pour out of it.
Yeah, but it's milk. It's
Dude,
not
it's fucking
water.
delicious. Imagine eating something. It's like why people like soup. Really, it's not that filling, and you don't get thirsty.
So, I'll get like a glass, like a pretty wide glass. I'll fill it up with
Bowl, yep.
milk, and then I'll put
cereal in it.
No,
And then
Okay, it's-
eat it with a spoon.
no. So is it, all right, guys. Let's just
Milk
see
before your
that.
cereal, really.
No. So okay, I'll get a glass. I'll put milk in it. Surely other people do this. I'll put a cookie in it, and then I'll just walk away and leave it.
Let it sink.
Leave it. Let it let it sink. Let it absorb all of it. Maybe put two, 1.5, 2. Fuck it, 4 cookies in. I don't care.
Yeah, this is
Put it in milk. Nah, probably like 2 cookies, and then I'll walk away. I'll leave it because I don't want to jump the gun and have still a half crunchy cookie. That's fucked.
So it's like a really shitty Anzac biscuit. Why would you do that to yourself?
Why would, like, I know people always talk about cookies and milk. Why the fuck would you not put the cookies in the milk?
Yeah,
Surely that's what they mean. Like,
This is where I differ from you slightly because I don't stop at 4 cookies in the milk. I'll wait until there's more cookie than milk, and then mash it up again until it's a big slop.
nah,
and just
see,
spoon it out.
I don't fully. I'm not into the slop. I like it wringing wet, but I like to still be able to see shapes of cookie. Like, I want to know that I'm eating a cookie, but I fucked it.
Yeah, look, probably the worst part is saying this, but the best part of eating this cookie slop that I have is Mum and Dad always buy the Arnott's mix packet. So I have some of the butterscotch ones down the bottom,
Like
have
this-
some Monte Carlos on top of it.
Oh, they get the
and
assorted
that
creams.
Oreo thing, yeah.
Oh,
so I'll
fuck.
be in there, I'll be going, and I mix it up. I have a mouthful. I'm like, fuck yeah, that was like the Oreo one. Next mouthful, Monte Carlo, come at me.
So it's a cookie trifle. It's layered. It's a layered cake.
Follow my new Instagram where I sell cookie trifles on Instagram. Yeah,
Oh,
actually,
that's a good. Do you guys like trifle?
Yeah.
I love it.
sometimes it's got fruit in it, so I'm out.
Oh yeah,
I,
but you're
I'd
weird
only
like
eat the
that.
trifle that Rachel made on Friends. Had like meat in
Meats
it
in
and
it.
shit. And
I don't watch
Joey's
Friends,
like,
but I know.
what? Meat? What, it's a cake? Good. Cream? Good. Meat? Good. I was like, fuck, that's rank. And I think ever since then, that's why I don't like trifle. It's just a weird...
Oh, it's definitely weird, but I rate it.
My family drink custard.
Yeah, custard's
Out
good.
of the
Drink
bottle.
it out of the bottle.
Yeah.
That... But...
I
they've got the
almost would.
hold up, but they've got the extra mile to go light milk and Nutella. but drinking custard's not where
No,
you
no,
do the
you
light.
get the light milk so you can drink the custard.
We also heavily into zero Coke. Coke Zero.
Fuck me.
We are actually.
It's actually Coke no sugar now.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Odd that.
Look, if you've made it through that, actually, I thought that was quality conversation.
Yeah.
Fuck you. If you didn't enjoy that,
Go fuck
Sort
yourself.
your priorities out. Bread, milk, cookies. That's the business.
seriously though, if you didn't enjoy that, I don't think you're going to enjoy the rest of the podcast. Like,
Yeah.
go find something else. We're not for you, okay? We're not for you.
We're the funny ones. Fuck you.
This will be split into 2 podcasts. So we've actually been recording for about 2 hours now. It's just more content in the bank for us and for, you know, our listeners, particularly the Indian community.
We're actually really grateful to that community. Where you're really helping us out.
Thank you. We appreciate you.
God.
Do it.
Stop cutting us off.
Okay, seriously.
Why are you heavy breathing like that?
Yeah, fuck. So it's like
I've run out. I was holding that last one in,
he shat himself.
waiting for you to
Blood
go,
vessel.
and it crawled back up. I was like, oh damn, I lost it.
Look, if you've listened to this podcast or any of the podcasts, please comment. I don't want to say the whole like and subscribe thing. I hope that will come with it, but actually just comment, talk about something that maybe we should talk about, something that your opinions on anything, and we'll obviously discuss them, and seriously, we'll write back to you, we'll hit you up, we'll at least mention you on the podcast.
Shout us out. Don't be a dog. Help some boys out.
Yeah, we're just trying to make the best of this, make a bit of fun of this. Really do hope you enjoyed. Thanks for coming, and hopefully you tune in next time, and hopefully we'll start recording at some point, at least do something else that's visual as well. All right, thanks guys.